Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start our subject, that is social studies. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Avinash Kumbarwar. So I am your new online SST teacher. So first we'll start with the first chapter of geography. The name is resource. It's an important chapter. If you view about 9th class and 10th class, it's a very important chapter for you. Though it's important, also it's very simple if you understand it. So try to understand the things. Now first, when we talk about resources, what do we mean by resources? We had seen many times in your earlier classes, you would have seen renewable resources, non-renewable resources, conventional resources, non-conventional resources, mineral resources. So many resources term you have seen in your entire syllabus till now. Now we'll try to define what is resource. First we'll see what is source, and then we'll see what is resource. Source is something from which something originates, or a resource is made of a source. Like if I say the shirt I am wearing is a cotton shirt, so this cotton shirt is made from cotton, so cotton will become source. Now if I am using a pen, you can see here this is the steel. This steel is a resource, but it is we got this steel from iron ore, basically iron ore. So iron ore becomes source and iron and steel becomes resource. So but what is a resource? So we'll go with this, the first definition of resource. Source, what is source? It is clearly given, the main thing from which a resource is made of, that is a source. Like example, cotton is used to make cotton clothes. So in this sentence, cotton is source because the cotton clothes are made up from made of cotton. Fine. Now what is a resource? Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is called a resource. Like shirt I am wearing is a resource for me. Mobile I am using to record this video is a resource for me. Similarly, this pen is a resource for me because it satisfies my need of writing. Similarly, all things which are of use to us are called, or which are of use, and as well as they satisfy certain needs. Maybe this pen, for an illiterate person, it is not a resource because he cannot read and write. So if he is illiterate, he cannot write, this pen may not be a resource for him. Or a small kid of 2 years, this will not be a resource for him because it's of no use for him. He doesn't need this thing. So anything which satisfy human need is called a resource. Very simple. Understood? So anytime if in this class, 8th class, anyone asks you either in examination or orally or whatever, if they ask you define resource, the simple definition is anything which satisfies human need is called a resource. I think it's very simple definition. Anything which satisfied. If I use a marker, this is a marker, whiteboard is there, you can see on the back, whiteboard is there, so this is a resource for me. Maybe this is not a resource for some other person, but it's a resource for me. So anything which satisfies my need is called as a resource. We can see an example. We use rickshaw to reach home. Many times we use rickshaw from market, we come to home, from school we come to home. If you move from one place to another, you use rickshaws. So in this sentence, what is a resource? It is rickshaw is a resource for us. Understood? What is source and what is resource? Now not only satisfying a need is enough to say a thing is resource. Like this thing, it satisfies my need, but is this the only criteria or characteristic which defines or which makes it a resource? Because it is a thing. This thing, if I want to call this thing as a resource, it should also have certain characteristics. So what are those characteristics? So those characteristics are, it should have certain utility, means it should be useful for me. Utility means using. So if I don't use it, it will not be a resource for me. Fine. So because if I continuously teach on the whiteboard and not on the paper, I don't use paper, then this is not a resource because this is of no use. In that case, I will be using marker. So it should be used. I should write something, or my need should be of writing something, then only this can called be a resource for me. Then value. It should have certain value because it's for need for me. If I don't have this, my writing will stop. So it's valuable for me. It has certain value. And also it should have certain economical value. That means value in terms of money. I have to pay something to buy this. It may be economical value should be there or not. It's not very important term. It can be economical and non-economical, because suppose if you have a throat infection, if you are coughing, so many times what happens, your mother gives you what we say, a little bit of ginger drops they put in honey and they give it to you for your remedies, for the remedial things. So that is of non-economical value. It is useful for us, it has certain value, because of this our cough will get cured. It has of course value, but it's of non-economical value because we don't have to pay for it. But ultimately ginger we have to pay, or if you grow ginger in your garden also, you have to buy seeds and you have to put manure into it. So it has certain economical value. Fine. So these three things are there. First we have seen the definition of resource. Now we have seen the characteristics. It should have certain utility, it should have certain value, and it should have certain economical value. Now we'll see this in further things. Utility, a resource which is in the form of object or substance. This is in the form of object or substance, so it is utility used for us. Value, value means worth. The things become resource only when they have a value. That is, if I don't value this, if I don't need this, so it will not have any value for me. So a resource should have value. Now example of we have seen certain things that economical value. Some resources have economical value. Not all resources, but some resources have economical value. Example of economical value: grandmother's home remedies have no commercial value. Like grandmother gives us, if I say my stomach is paining, she will give something to eat. If I'm having headache, she will give something for me. Means what would be called home remedies. We don't go to doctor, but the old ladies like grandmother and all, they give certain things to us which are present in home. But if they are patented and sold by a medical firm, they could become of economical value. Like turmeric. Turmeric is easily available in our homes. Many times what happens, we use turmeric on the wounds and all. It's a good antiseptic kind of thing. So it is not of commercial value. But if we make certain medicine out of that and we patent it and we sell in the market, then it has some economical value. Okay, so these are the characteristics of a resource: utility, value, and economical value. Now we have seen definition of resource, we have seen the characteristics of resource. Now we will see the classification of resource, how a resource can be classified, how we can classify a resource broadly. So now here you can see resource can be classified into three, or we can say resources can be broadly classified into three divisions. We can divide into three groups. First is natural resource. Very simple. What is natural resource? Any resource which we get from nature, or whatever nature gives us and it satisfies my need, is a natural resource. My need, for me, for my body to perform properly, I need oxygen. So oxygen is my need. So I breathe in air from the environment. And this air is created by whom? Do we make air? No. It is a natural thing. So it's a natural resource for me. Water is a natural resource. Rocks, land, all these are natural resources because they are given to us by nature. They are free gifts given to us by nature, right? Next we will see human made resources. Now what do you understand by human made resources? Very simple. Human made. The resources which are made by human are called as human made resources. Now example, this pen, this marker, these are not grown in the trees. We don't pluck it from there. These we make it, means humans make it. So these are made by humans, so these are called as human made resources. Any resource which is made by human are called human made resources, because in natural there is no intervention of human beings. Because air is natural, we don't make it or we don't modify it. In human made, we make it totally, because pen and this marker or mobile, laptop, anything, these are made by human beings. So they are called human made resources. Now next is human resources. This is very important because many times students gets confused between human made resource and human resource. I have seen in my class also, human resources, they think that it is same like human made resources. No, it is totally different. Now I hope you have understood what is natural resource and what is human made resource. Now we will see what is human resource. Now if you break the term human resource. Resource, we know what is resource. Resource is anything which satisfy our need is a resource. Now what is a human resource then? Any human who satisfies my need is called a human resource. Now how? You can ask me, sir, how you can say this? How can a human satisfy my need? So in my house, a servant comes. He washes my clothes. He makes food for me. So my need of getting prepared food or washing clothes is satisfied by whom? It is satisfied by this person, my servant. He is a human being. So he is a human resource for me. Now you are studying in a very big school, Ananya International School. So in your school, there are so many teachers are there. If buses are there, drivers will be there. Clerks will be there. Sweepers who clean the premises, they will be there. So these are all human beings, and they are working or they are satisfying the need of the institution, because institution thinks that the environment should be clean or the surrounding should be clean. For this they have appointed sweepers or cleaners. These sweepers or cleaners are human beings, so they are a human resource for the institution. Now institution, the need of institution is they need some good teachers who can teach the students. So these teachers are satisfying the need of the institution of teaching. So these teachers are a human resource for the institution. I hope we are getting clear. It's very clear. Any human who satisfies our need is a human resource for us. So now we have seen natural resource which we get from nature. Human made resource which are made by the human beings. And then human resource means any human who satisfy our need is called as a human resource. Now we'll see this, like how to define this. Now natural resources drawn from nature and used without modification are called natural resources. Very simple. They are drawn from the nature and we don't modify it much. Many of the resources are free gift of nature and can be used directly. They are free gifts because we do not, suppose if I am breathing air, so I don't have to pay for it. If I am using water from the river, I don't have to pay for it. So they are free gifts of nature. Technology may not be needed. Now see here, may not be needed. We are not saying that technology is not needed. We are saying technology may not be needed, because in some cases technology is required. Now when we breathe air, no technology is required for us. We can directly breathe air. We don't have to process the air and then we breathe it. Fine. So it may not be used. But in iron, when we use iron is a resource, but iron is made from iron ore. Iron ore is a natural resource, but I have to use technology. I have to process this iron ore into pure iron and then only I can use it. So technology may or may not be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. I hope it's clear, because the last point is may or may not. Technology is required in certain resources. For certain resources, we don't require the technology. Now again, we'll stop here for a time and we'll just revise that what we had seen. First, we had seen the definition of a resource, that all things which can satisfy our need is called resource. Then we had seen characteristics of resources, that is utility, value and economic value. Then we have seen the broad classification of resources: natural resources which we get from nature. Then we had seen human made resources, resources made by the humans. Then we have seen human resources. Humans who satisfy our need are called as human resources. Fine. Now coming to the next point, now we'll try to broadly classify natural resources. We had seen three types of resources: natural, human made and human. So now we'll see the natural resources. They are very important. So natural resources can again be classified. Now when we classify anything, now what do you mean by classification? Classification means sorting out the things from, suppose we take a bunch of things. From this we will sort out and make a set of similar things, that these have same characteristics, and we make different groups out of it. That's called classification. Now for example, if I take my class, there are 40 students. I can classify in number of ways. I can classify on the basis of gender. So girls 20, boys 20, 40, after 40, 20, 20 maybe. I'm taking just a, an imaginary figure. So I can divide class into girls and boys. I can divide class on the basis of height of students. So I can make 2-3 groups of students. I can classify the class on the basis of intellect or the marks obtained. I can say these are very good students, intelligent students. These are average students. These are poor students. So classification can be done on any way. Either I can classify my class on the basis of gender, on the basis of marks, on the basis of height, on the basis of color. So there are different things which I can classify a particular thing. But when you talk about natural resources, the main points of classification or main basis of classification are different. So we'll just go through this. Now, natural resources, it can be classified on the basis of, see the first one. Yeah, you can see the first one, that green colored. Level of development and use. How much that resource is developed and how much we are using it. On basis of it, we can divide it. On the basis of origin, from where it is originated. For example, here we can say biotic and abiotic, whether the resource has come from living things or non-living things. So that is one basis of classification. Stock, how much stock is available on our earth of that particular resource. On this we can divide the or classify the natural resources. Then distribution, how much distribution, because some resources are present everywhere like air, but some resources are present in certain pockets of earth, like we can say iron ore or coal. We cannot find everywhere, they are in certain pockets. So on this basis we can divide the natural resources. So for today I think it's enough. We had seen the definition, we have seen of resources, definition of resources, we had seen classification of resources, we had seen characteristics of resources, and also we have just touched the topic of how can we classify natural resources. In our next class we will go in each classification in detail, in deep, with proper examples. I hope you enjoyed the session, you have understood anything, any doubts you can ask me on our group, WhatsApp group is there.